morning, everyone. Today in our lesson, we're going to do some exercises using have to, didn't have to, can or can't. Please all open your books on page 51. I'll start with exercise number 1. Read the sentences and choose the correct words. Check your answers in the text on page 50. في عنا بعض some rules related to football and tennis. تقريبا معظمهم أخذناهم بالتكست on page 50. معظمهم أخذناهم بالتكست. The rules of the game related to football and tennis. 1. Each football team has to or can't have 11 players. كل فريق كرة قدم بيحتوي على أو لديه 11 لاعبا. Has to أكيد مش can't have. Has to كل فريق بكرة قدم لديه 11 لاعبا. 2. You can or can't kick the ball in football. Kick the ball in football. Kick the ball in football أكيد you can. أكيد بفوتبول we can kick the ball. إنك تركل أو تشوت الكرة. 3. I am a referee. أنا كحكم. I have to or don't have to watch the match. يشاهد المباراة كحكم. حكم كرة القدم. have to ولا don't have to أكيد have to لأنه أصلا راح يشاهد المباراة ويراقبها. 4. Football players have to or can't touch the ball with their hands. Football players لاعبين كرة القدم they have to or can't touch the ball with their hands. أكيد can't touch the ball with their hands. ما بيقدروا يلمسوا الكرة بأيديهم. لاعبي كرة القدم. Tennis players have to or don't have to use a racket. لاعبي كرة المضرب they have to or don't have to أكيد have to use a racket. يستخدموا المضرب لأنه هو شيء أساسي بلعب كرة المضرب أو التنس. They have to use a racket. There is an umpire in tennis. He has to or can decide if a player wins a point. حكم كرة المضرب أو حكم الكرسي أكيد he has to decide. He has to decide if a player wins a point. هو اللي بيقرر إذا اللاعب فاز بنقطة أم لا. So I write the answers. Exercise number 1. 2. في عنا can. أكيد you can kick the ball. 3. have to لأنه الحكم أكيد بيراقب المباراة أو بيتابعها. 4. can't they can't touch the ball with their hands. 5. use a racket أكيد have to. The last one 6. the umpire has to لأنه هو اللي بيقرر إذا اللاعب فاز بنقطة أم لا. 2 can. 3 have to. 4 can't. 5 have to and 6 has to. We'll move to exercise number 2. Complete the text with the correct forms of can or can't. Ice diving in Antarctica is becoming very popular. حنحكي عن ice diving الغوص في الجليد في القطب المتجمد. في القطب المتجمد الجنوبي is becoming very popular. You حنستخدم can or can't. Do it if you are not a well-trained diver. إذا ما كنت متمرس أو متدرب على الغوص. أكيد you can do it. ما بتقدر إنك تغوص في القطب المتجمد، في مياه القطب المتجمد. إذا ما كنت متمرس أو متدرب على رياضة الغوص you cannot do it. Once you are in the water, you can see a completely different world. أكيد بالمي في عالم مختلف كليا عن العالم اللي منعيش فيه. You dive with seals and penguins. dive راح تغوص مع الفقامات والبطاريق. أكيد you can dive. You can dive with seals and penguins. 3. You observe animals from under the surface, or you catch a fish while it is in a deep sleep. Observe animals إنك تراقب الحيوانات تحت سطح الماء. أكيد you can observe animals under the surface, or you can برضو تستطيع إنك you can catch a fish while it is in a deep sleep، أو إنك تصيد السمكة لما تكون نائمة، عندما تكون نائمة. So you can observe animals underwater or under the surface, or you can catch a fish while it is in a deep sleep. However, because ice keeps moving, you في عنا رح نستخدم برضو can و can't. Be sure if your final destination. طبعا بسبب إنه الآيس أو الجليد بتستمر بالحركة you cannot be sure of your final destination. من وجهتك النهائية ما رح تكون متأكد تماما. You might end up miles from your original diving spot. ممكن تبعد أميال عديدة عن نقطة الغوص الأصلية اللي انطلقت منها. So you cannot be sure of your final destination because the ice keeps moving. I write the answers. Exercise number 2. في عنا 1. You can do it. If you are not well trained. 2. You can dive with seals and penguins. 3 برضو you can observe animals. 2 and 3 can. حكينا 4. برضو you can catch a fish while it is in a deep sleep. And 5 you cannot be sure of your final destination. Can't, can, and 4 can, 5 can't. Now we'll move to exercise number 4. Look at the pictures and use the phrases from the books to write school rules using have to, don't have to, and can or can't. Then write your own sentences using the words in brackets. في عنا بعض الرولز أو القواعد أو القوانين المتبعة بالمدرسة رح نكتبهم باستخدام have to, don't have to, or can and can't. طبعا في عنا write notes by hand, use mobile phones, study hard, take books out of library. Those some rules that you have to follow at schools or related to school. بعض القوانين أو القواعد الخاصة بالمدرسة حنستخدم have to, don't have to, can or can't. Look at this picture. في عنا 2 rules مكتوبين that are written down. You have to study hard. You have to study hard. أكيد. As a student, you have to study hard. You can't pass exams without studying. لأنه مستحيل إنك تنجح بالامتحانات أو تجتاز الامتحانات without studying بدون دراسة. Picture number 2. في عنا صورة كمبيوتر هون. ممكن إننا نحكي you can use a computer باستخدام can. So you didn't have to write notes by hand. You can use a computer. تقدر إنك تستخدم الحاسوب. So you didn't have to write notes by hand. أنت مش مضطر إنك تكتب notes أو ملاحظات باستخدام القلم أو بإيدك. You can use a computer. You don't have to write notes by hand. You can use a computer. أنت هون مخير. You can use a computer. You don't have to write notes by hand. You can use a computer. حسب الصورة الموجودة عنا. 3. فإننا رح نستخدم don't have to. ممكن إننا نحكي you don't have to buy books. You can take books out of the library. So you can take books out of the library. You don't have to buy them. ممكن إننا نستعير الكتب من المكتبة وإحنا مش بحاجة أو أنت مش بحاجة لأنك تشتري. So 3. You can take books out of the library. You don't have to buy them. So you can take books out of the library. You don't have to buy them. The last one هنستخدم have to. في عنا mobile phone. أكيد واضحة. It's obvious. You cannot use mobile phones at school. أكيد. You have to turn them off. You have to turn them off. لازم يضل مغلق. لأنه غير مسموح استخدام mobile phones at school. You can't use mobile phones. You have to turn them off. Them off. So I'll read the sentences again. 2. You don't have to write notes by hand. You can use a computer. 3. You can take books out of the library. You don't have to buy them. 4. You can't use mobile phones. You have to turn them off. You have to turn them off. Let's move to page number 52. Exercise number 5. Exercise number 5, page 52. Complete the text with the correct forms of have to and don't have to. رح نستخدم have to, don't have to. Winning isn't everything. If you want to be a truly good sportsman, you behave well all the time. بحكي لك إنه الفوز هو مش كل إشي بالرياضة. إذا كنت رح تصبح أو رح تصير لاعب جيد أو رياضي جيد، أكيد you have to behave well all the time. لازم يكون عندك أخلاق رياضية. You have to behave well all the time. لازم تتصرف بشكل جيد أو يكون عندك أخلاق رياضية في الملعب. So 1, you have to. Exercise number 5. In the 1, you have to. لأن winning, it's not everything. This is called being a good sport. بسموه بكرة القدم أو كل الرياضات الروح الرياضية أو التحلي بالأخلاق الرياضية. The most important thing that all good sports remember is respect. Respect for your teammates, for your opponents, and for the referee. The most important thing that all good sports أكيد have to remember. أهم إشي بكل الرياضات اللي هي صفة الاحترام. لازم تحترم أعضاء الفريق الخاص فيك والخصم وبرضه الحكم. Respect for the teammates, for your opponents, and for the referee. Good sports accept that you win all the time and you certainly cheat to do so. طبعا جميع اللاعبين اللي عندهم أخلاق أو روح رياضية بتقبلوا فكرة إنه you don't have to win all the time. أنت لست مجبر أو مش مرغم لأنك تفوز بجميع الأوقات أو جميع المباريات. And you certainly don't have to cheat to do so. وأكيد مش بتضطر لأنك تغش أو تخالف قوانين اللعب لحتى تفوز. الفوز بالمباراة هو مش كل إشي. So good sports accept that you don't have to win all the time. You don't have to win all the time and you certainly don't have to cheat to do so. لأنه الفوز مش كل إشي. And 3 or 4 don't have to. لأنه الفوز بدون أخلاق رياضية ما بيجيب نتيجة. Good sports never make their teammates or the other team feel bad and they make excuses if they don't do well. أكيد برضو don't have to. Good sports never make their teammates or the other team feel bad if they don't have to make excuses if they don't do well. أكيد إذا كان عندك أخلاق أو روح رياضية أنت ما راح تخلي أعضاء فريقك تشعر بالذنب للخسارة أو حتى أعضاء الفريق الآخر. They don't have to make excuses if they don't do well. ومش مضطرين لأنهم يبرروا خسارتهم. You don't have to make excuses if you don't do well. مش مضطر لأنك تبرر الخسارة. Remember that not everyone can be the world's best player, but everyone أكيد has to be a good sport. مش كل رياضي أو كل لاعب يقدر إنه يكون number 1 in the world أكيد. لكن كل واحد بيقدر إنه يتحلى بالأخلاق الرياضية أو بالروح الرياضية. انتبهوا لأنه everyone تعامل معاملة المفرد كل شخص. So هنستخدم has to مش have to. has to نظرا لأنه الفاعل مفرد. everyone has to be a good sport. Now we move to the end of this lesson. I hope you all enjoyed it.